Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I turned on my dash cam as I began driving in Latifabad Unit 7. The car was parked in front of a bakery, where I purchased some bakery items before driving to the Mirpur Khas highway. I used to live in Latifabad as a university student in the 1980s, so I'm quite familiar with the area. This area of Unit 7 was a nice commercial area that used to be clean and well maintained. As we pass through, you can see the state of the roads and the surrounding area. This video will make those who used to live here but now live elsewhere nostalgic. I recall there was a specialized chicken kahai restaurant in this area where my friends and I would frequently dine. I'm not sure if that chicken kahai shop is still open for business. Back then, most shops were single-story structures. Now, multi-story buildings are being built. However, the area's cleanliness has deteriorated significantly. During my drive, I noticed the Pioneer Bakery signboard was still there, but I didn't stop to buy anything. I'm not sure if they still make tasty cakes and bakery items like they used to make, a decade or two ago. In the 1980s, chicken chaga was not well known. In this area, there were no shops selling such foods. During this trip, however, I came across a shop selling chicken chaga, a kind of a grilled chicken. They also sell paratha and pizza, a strange food combination that I had never imagined. The intersection of the road of Latifabad Unit No. 7 and Autobahn Road was and probably still is known as Latifabad No. Sart number. The intersection was congested due to the railway line crossing gate that existed there prior to the construction of the flyover bridge. The traffic congestion appears to have eased after the construction of the flyover. Before driving up the flyover, I noticed a signboard in Sindhi that read, "Learn Sindhi, speak Sindhi, write in Sindhi." It has been erected by the Sindhi Language Authority to remind non-indigenous people who migrated from India after the subcontinent's partition that they should try to integrate into the local culture in order to avoid ethnic conflicts that plagued the area in the 1990s. Back then, an opportunist ethnic organization caused a lot of unrest among the local and migrant populations. When there was no flyover, the Iranian Culture Center could be seen easily, but now that there is one, it cannot be seen when driving on the flyover. To get there from underneath the bridge, you must take a different route. The flyover descends on the road next to the GTC ground as it travels towards the central area of Hyderabad. I recall former Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto holding a large public gathering on this ground when she returned from exile in the late 1980s. Although I wanted to go to the Mirpur Khas highway, a flyover diverted me to this road leading to the heart of Hyderabad. This is due to the lack of signage informing drivers of the destination of the road. So I had to make a U-turn to get to the Mirpur Khas highway. From here, you can see a large cemetery and a Talpur period mud fort known as Katcho Qilo. As a mud fort, the fort is in poor condition and withering away. On the road leading to Katcho Qilo, you can find shops selling marble tiles, auto parts, and car mechanic shops, among other things. Because there are no guiding signboards, it was difficult for me to decide whether to go up the flyover or take the road on the left to get to the Mirpur Khas highway. I made the decision to go up. Luckily, that was the correct decision. There are very few roads in Pakistan that have a proper traffic management system in place. Most roads lack directing signs, correctly defined lanes, traffic warning signs, and so forth. This flyover is no different. It is tough for an outsider to navigate. Even if you use Google Maps GPS Navigator, actual markers on the road will help you select which direction to turn or which lane to go. That is not doable on the majority of Pakistani city roadways. Such directional signage is only present on major highways with toll gates. In other locations, use your common sense or ask someone on the street for directions. There are automotive repair businesses, vehicle spare parts stores, and car air conditioning service shops on the service road under the overpass. The flyover descends and joins the Autobahn road. Some banquet halls and Mehran Arts Council buildings may be seen on the southern side. At this point, the Latifabad Unit 8 is on the right. while the Pathan Goth and Makrani Paro are on the left. Latifabad Township is an extension of Hyderabad that is divided into 12 units. In the Latifabad No. 8 neighbourhood, there are various food stalls and shops to choose from. Biryani, the neighbourhood's most popular meal, is available in shops and on the streets. According to reports, there are around 150 outlets covering a variety of cuisines. Like everywhere in Latifabad, traffic is a mess here too. Although the St. Elizabeth's Hospital is located at Unit No. 7, before to the commencement of the flyover that we went over, you may also drive from Latifabad Unit No. 8. The Maajee Hospital is another hospital that can be seen on the opposite side of this road. These two hospitals have a large number of doctors available for consultation and treatment. These hospitals also many house tertiary care specialists. As you can see, traffic is a nightmare. Helmets are not used by motorcycle riders. They may appear at any time. Slow down and be alert while driving. They will not observe traffic regulations. It is possible that drivers do not study driving regulations before receiving their licenses. Many people do not have a driver's license at all. Cemetery of Dawoodi Bohra community is located on the left. Bohra Muslims originate from Egypt's Fatimi Imams, direct descendants of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. A large business community of Hyderabad belong to closely knit Bohra community. Berkat Bai town is located next to the Bohra Community Cemetery. There are a couple banquet facilities and wedding party lawns on this Autobahn road between Maajee Hospital and here. If you take the next right, you may continue driving between Latifabad Units 8 and 12, and the route is known as Airport Road. The domestic airport at Hyderabad is roughly 6 kilometers away. There is nothing noteworthy to mention after the airport road. There are a few auto repair and car air conditioning shops. These shops do not appear to be approved businesses, but rather roadside units offering such services. Plant nurseries follow on the left side of the road. The plants available in these nurseries are diverse. Buyers from rural areas come here to buy plants and tree saplings from these nurseries, as well as people from urban residential areas who buy flower pots and in-house ornamental plants and shrubs. A military training area is located on the right side, opposite these nurseries. It's a large area surrounded by a compound wall. It's known as the Sindh Regimental Centre. The entrance and the outside area are very well maintained and kept clean. At the entrance gate has a nice bronze sculpture of a soldier holding a gun, which looked very artistic. On the left, behind the roadside nurseries, is the Hesco power supply grid station. This reminds me of the difficulties with Pakistan's electricity supply. Rapid urbanization has increased energy consumption throughout the country. However, neither power generation nor transmission and distribution infrastructures have been upgraded. Power supply challenges have been worsened by inefficient transmission and distribution networks, as well as power losses en route to customers. Power has been shut off repeatedly for more than 8 hours per day in winter and 12 to 16 hours per day in summer. This is referred to by locals as power load shedding. High electricity tariffs are said to have recently increased the industrial cost of manufacturing. This has resulted in increased manufactured product prices. As a result, they do not compete for exports on a global scale. Many businesses and houses have installed inefficient and expensive power generators that cost a lot of money to operate. If the government wants to increase exports and produce foreign exchange to help its struggling economy, it must address the issue of energy shortages. A commercial area begins after passing the crossroads from where the route to the Hyderabad railway station departs. On the left, a new high-end hotel is under construction in this neighborhood. A few high-end retail centers may be found on the right. Lucky Mall and a larger Boulevard Mall are among these retail malls. Boulevard Mall, which opened its doors just a few years ago, is perhaps the first international class mall in Hyderabad. It features a few cafes as well as stores selling branded things. The selection of groceries and grocery products is limited. Products are pricey. Some stores are excellent. The food court's quality is subpar, it's pricey, and there aren't many alternatives to eat. Many upgrades are required. Parking is also prohibitively pricey. From the Boulevard Mall, a road leads to Ganjotaka Hill. On the hill are many government offices, including the FIA, FBR, Customs, and Passport Office. Hill Park, a big public park, is located on the hill as well. On this hill are the tombs and memorials of two prominent Hyderabad Talpur brothers, Mir Rasul Baksh Talpur and Mir Ali Ahmad Talpur. On the left is Fatah Textile Mill. This textile company was well known for producing high-quality fabrics. According to unconfirmed information, Fatah Textile Mill production has temporarily suspended at this location. For a number of reasons, many factories on the outskirts of cities have been closing down and converting their production sites into real estate, retail and residential complexes. Excessive energy prices, electrical shortages, bureaucratic red tape, and corruption challenges are just a few of the reasons why many industries in Pakistan are closing down. Aside from that, the real estate sector is now more profitable than the textile industry. The Fatah Chowk roundabout is the next significant landmark. Hali Road leads northwest from this junction. This route leads to the Garib Nawaz flyover and subsequently to the Hyderabad railway station. One may also travel to the Sabzi Mandi, fruit and vegetable market, and the bus station. Take Badin Road southeast from the junction to reach the Zeel Pak cement factory. If you continue along this route, you will reach Tando Muhammad Khan, Talha, and Badin. The route we are traveling goes to Gangra Mori, then to Sheikh Burkio and the Mirpur Khas highway in the northeast. On Fatah Chowk, seasonal fruit vendors on pushcarts may be spotted selling fruits. Because of the industrial area, pickup trucks and freight hauling organizations have offices in this location. Due to significant vehicle traffic, the route here might get clogged at times. There has been no attempt to expand this road, which is urgently needed. Fatah Chowk is a gateway to southern Sindh. The road to Badin leads to any part of Sindh south of Hyderabad. The road to Badin and the railway line run parallel for some distance into southern Sindh. Until a few decades ago, the train was a very convenient mode of travel and transportation, when corrupt practices gradually crept into this government-owned facility. It was both efficient and profitable in terms of travel and transportation at the time. That eco-friendly, low-cost, and efficient mode of transportation is no longer available. Although the Badin and Tando Muhammad Khan districts are rich in oil and extract a lot of it, the people's living standards are the lowest in the area, and infrastructure and civic amenities are subpar throughout the oil and gas-producing southern Sindh. The famous Nara jail or prison is another notable landmark nearby on the Badin road. As we travel further northeast, we encounter more industries on the road as well as deep within the locality on both sides. These industries include a beverage factory, a textile mill, a cotton factory, a spinning mill, and an electronics and appliance factory closer to the Haley Road. Tando Yusuf is located on the northern side or to the left of the road, just before the Phuleli River. A small road branching off from this one leads to Tando Yusuf. These villages in Hyderabad's outskirts are devoid of basic amenities. The main issue is a lack of cleanliness. Turning left on Tando Yusuf Road reveals heaps of garbage that resemble mini landfills. These are not landfills, but rather the surroundings of village dwellings. The majority of people in these villages are poor and have no say in local government administration. Many small new residential colonies and commercial buildings have been built in the region between Old Tando Yusuf and this major road in recent years. These are a broad array of stores that are often found near residential communities across Sindh. Grocery and general stores are examples of such establishments. New structures, including flats and apartments, are being built along these major thoroughfares. However, the concern is how these structures' residents would be supplied with essential amenities. Housing and urban planning authorities, like all other government departments, have become ineffective and corrupt, causing people to suffer and stay without the fundamental necessities of everyday existence. In addition, new residential complexes are sprouting up all throughout Sindh these days. These colonies are being established on agricultural grounds. People with agricultural properties change them to more lucrative real estate development since they can't cultivate crops on all of their lands owing to a shortage of irrigation water. After driving through all of Hyderabad, we have arrived at the location where we will cross 3 water channels. These are the Fulaili River, Fulaili River, and Akram Wah Lined Channel. These three water channels branch off the Indus River at the Kotri Barrage in Jamshoro. Phuleli is a non-perennial canal with a discharge capacity of 15,000 cusecs. It was built in 1955 to meet the irrigation water needs of Lower Sindh's left bank regions. Although the canal water is mostly used for irrigation, cities, and villages within its mandate also use it for household purposes. Many songs, lyrics, poems, and letters have been written in its honor. The Phulaili Canal or river emerges from the Indus River as a single channel before splitting into two separate channels. The western channel is known as Phulaili, while the eastern canal is known as Phulaili. The area between these two canals is known as Doabar, which means between two waters. The Phulaili continues south, passing through the towns and cities of Husri, Seri, Tando Muhammad Khan, and Matli before tailing off near Alipur village. The main Phulaili continues south and then westwards towards Janan Sumro. It ends near the village of Daro, near Sajawal. Although the main purpose of these canals branching off the river Indus is to provide irrigation and drinking water to southern Sindh, urban and industrial wastewater is also allowed to be disposed of in these canals untreated, causing a massive water pollution problem downstream. Municipal, household, industrial, and agricultural waste, as well as animal manure, are dumped directly into canals. Sewage water is added to canals by various drains, affecting the water quality directly. Public health, aquatic life, cattle, agriculture, soil, and groundwater are all threatened by the effluents dumped into the fresh canal water. The damaging impact on the environment is ignored. Installing primary and secondary tertiary treatment with trickling effect and oxidation pools could be a solution, but I've never heard of such a plan. The Third Canal, Akram Wah, is a lined channel that flows from the Kotri Barrage independently of the Phuleli canals. It's a long canal that stretches all the way south past Badin. As soon as we arrive at the canal, we drive north on the Canal Bank Road, which becomes Mirpur Khas Road after the flyover. In this area, there are numerous Guava Farms. The apple of the tropics, guava, also known as zaitun in Sindhi and amrud in Urdu, is a popular fruit in Pakistan. Guavas are a tasty fruit that can be found all over Sindh. It's a tropical tree that may grow in a variety of soil and climate conditions. Guava fruit has two seasons, winter and summer. However, it is more abundant in the winter. In November, the winter season begins and lasts until March. From April to the middle of August, the summer fruit is available. Farmers regard the winter fruit as more valuable and profitable produce. Sindh's Larkana area produces 45% of the province's total guava production. Hyderabad, Naushira-Feroz, Nawabshah, and Mirpur Khas are the next districts in the list. Thadharami, pink in color, Riali, Sindhi, seedless, Ramzani, Allahabadi, Indian, and Benazir types of guava are all grown in the region between Madaji and Mohenjo-daro. Guava production generates around 1 billion rupees in revenue each year. If value addition and processing units are built in guava-producing areas, a considerable amount of the harvest that would otherwise be wasted due to short shelf life could be saved. Guava squash, guava pulping facility, and guava processing plant are three investment prospects in the guava sector. In both domestic and international markets, guava pulp is in high demand. Juice, nectars, and still drinks have enormous market potential. The establishment of guava processing plants in Sindh will open up a ready market for pulps both locally and internationally. As is commonly seen in Pakistan, the traffic are not followed on the flyover. So one has to be careful to drive over it. Local people are quite familiar with the local traffic, so they have no problem. However, outsiders should be careful. Most of the street lights on the flyover have already been damaged or are non-functional. No efforts have been made for their replacement or maintenance. If you are going to Mirpur Khas, the highway which starts at a short distance from the flyover is a very good dual carriageway. It's built and operated by a South Korean company. This brings me to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and stay in touch.